believe that you can save the day, because you actually can. Because when you pass by the mirror, I want you to know that you are no further than your reflection to find the hero. The hero is right here. So you need to look at yourself. If you don't see it on the screen, you need to go to the bathroom mirror and look and say, I see a hero in the reflection, and then start acting like it. Know the heroes within, and that's why we exist. You can do what you believe you can do. If thou can believe, all things are possible. You gotta start by believing. And that's why we're here, to make sure you see all types of eclectic backgrounds from all over the world, so you can know that there's a hero everywhere. Just look no further than your reflection, baby, and you'll find a hero. We had to press through and persevere against all odds, but sometimes adversity is an advantage.
1,016 people were shot and killed by the police last year. How can JFH protect and serve better than the police departments?
Help people be heroes in their own lives.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, JFH Heroes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this final day of WarnerMedia's Urban Action Showcase, allowing us to come together and unite all the heroes on this wonderful special occasion, celebrating diversity in action, in the action genre. So JFH, everybody knows, cinematic universe that we're building with a community. Anybody can join, anyone can create a hero, anyone can point out issues in the world that we as heroes need to address and create content around and fictionalize solutions to real world problems. So this is, it's just so inspiring to have everybody here. And we have Demitrius Angelo here from the WarnerMedia Urban Action Showcase right now. And he's got some special words for us. So I'm going to pass it to him.
Thank you so much, Jan. Greetings, everyone. My name is Demitrius Angelo. I am the founder and executive producer of the Urban Action Showcase and Expo, where we celebrate diversity and the multicultural achievements in the blockbuster action genre. At the end of the day, it's important that we have heroes that reflect our image and our interests. We should not have to go any further than our reflection to see the hero that is within. It is important to us to make sure that we have heroic images that reflect the world around us. And by doing so, that means everybody's included. Okay, so diversity and inclusion is the foundation of our platform. This is our 8th year, and we just want to encourage everyone to realize that regardless of what they see on the outside, it's important more that what they see on the inside. And if you don't see the hero on the inside, you will never see it on the outside. So it's important that every time that you're looking for a hero, always look within first. And that is the message that we're sending to the world. You know, for many, many decades now, we've counted on and depended on the world's perspective, right? The world's perspective of what a hero looks like, who's a hero, who's not a hero. But there's so many heroes that don't wear capes. I bet you each and every one of you that would say that their grandmother or their grandfather was a hero to them. But they never wore a cape, but they wore an apron. You know, they wore an apron, and they were there for you night and day. So it's important for us to realize these things. Immediately following this at 2 o'clock, you don't want to miss the Heroes in Action Cinema panel. 2 p.m., the Lady Dragon herself, Cynthia Rothrock, will be there. Amy Johnson, Sarah Chang, Zara Pathian, and of course, Mei Ling Ing, which is in the new Suicide Squad as Mongo. So you guys don't want to miss that. You can just go right to our Facebook page, urbanactionshowcase.com, and you can check that out, or go to Urban Action Showcase Facebook page, or you can go to urbanactionshowcase.com and just click live events, and boom, it'll be right there, all of our live events. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Demitrius, Widowster, one of our cast members and a real life superhero, has his hand raised, and I believe that might be a question for you.
Wait, hello?
There we go.
Yeah, sorry. I was just showing you that I just got in. It was very retiring. I just sprained my ankle badly, so.
Oh, man.
On it.
Well, that's how real this is, everybody. He was in the middle of some real life superhero action. It just happened. Hope you feel better, man. Demitrius, thank you so much.
All right, I appreciate it. Definitely prayers out to him. Hopefully recovers quickly. Anybody got any healing powers in this superhero collection? Maybe y'all can send some healing his way. All right, guys, have a great panel. I appreciate all you guys, and I look forward to seeing some action content from each and every one of you.
Thank you so much, Demitrius.
You're welcome. God bless.
Everybody, this is amazing to unite as heroes here. It's you know, the fact that each and every one of you has you know, created some inspiring content, and a range of inspiring content. You know, it's what we're doing with JFH. It's never been done before, and it's hard, but it's also easy when people who care are united. So I just wanted to say a thank you to everybody, and you know, we had asked everyone to come with a hero one-liner, and want to give everybody a chance to share that one-liner and talk a little bit about their hero. And we have AK Wonder here as well to help us guide that wonderful you know, breakdown of heroism. So AK Wonder, why don't you take it away?
I think you just told everyone. I think you told everyone what it is. We'd love everyone to go around and say their one-liner and talk about a little bit about their hero. Yeah.
All right, so how about we start with Vale, who was I think the first one. Vale and Retrospect were the first ones to pop in. So let's start with Vale and then Retrospect.
In order to win, you got to fight dirtier than them.
Vale, can you tell us a little bit? That was great. Can you tell us a little bit about your character, your hero? So,
Vale's not so different from me IRL, because while I don't associate with the RLSH community, I'm what I like to refer to as a social vigilante, kind of like, you know, Lynx. Remember him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And rather than, you know, patrolling the streets the way some real life heroes do, he investigates specific issues and pursues those. You know, people that come to him with issues, and he investigates those. He only takes on one thing at a time usually, and but most of what he does involves rather than, you know, necessarily stopping crimes. I'd say the crime, because this is technically a crime, that he stops the most is suicide, because the thing that he's best at is talking people down, getting people to realize how much they're actually worth. But when it comes, if push comes to shove, he can do the opposite.
That's awesome, man. That's I really appreciate the empathetic heroism when it comes to dealing with people who might be having those suicidal feelings. I think that's really, really important. Vintage actually had done a mission last year on that subject, and I always that mission has a special place in my heart. So so thank you for sharing that. Can you do one more time your hero one-liner so we can get the clearest sound?
All right. If you want to beat him, you got to fight dirtier than him.
Thank you, Vale. It's amazing.
No problem.
Everybody. And Let's see. Well, next up, we have retrospect. Retrospect. Can you give us your one-liner?
Don't fret. You can rely on retrospect.
Retrospect. I'm going to ask you to do it one more time because I'm pinning your video now. Okay, great. Now,
Don't fret. You can rely on retrospect.
that's awesome, man. So you recently changed your hero name. I think it's super important that there have been several heroes in the community, even this past week, that have changed their hero name. And as your persona essentially upgrades itself, you change your name. So I'm interested in what is the difference between retrospect and your previous iteration.
Well, Icarus was just kind of like a beginner type vibe. I feel like you know, it's a lot more of a common name. So I just wanted to try and derive a little bit more originality, and like retrospect kind of came out. Because like I personally enjoy like 80s and 90s like action and storytelling. Like, you know, like it's very bombastic and it's very like out there, but it's still, you know, like it still hits close to home, because like a lot of those movies like back in the day, like they had a lot of like subtle like messages and stuff like that that would, you know, like inspire others to do better. And I think that's what differentiates retrospect from Icarus in a way. Like he's I feel like as a hero he's a lot more like engaged in like sitting in the background, and like if he has to go out there and get physical, then he will. But he's a lot more of like a tech guy, which I enjoy myself. So
That's awesome, brother. Thank you so much for sharing that retrospect, everybody. And
thank you.
next up, we have Liger Dragon, and Liger Dragon. If you could share your one-liner, and then, you know, a bit on the hero. But one-liner first, please.
Yep. Can you hear me well? Yep. Faith, will, and a helping hand have the power to create positive, progressive change. Be the spark that ignites good change.
Liger Dragon, could you go one more time on that one?
Yep.
Thank you.
Faith, will, and a helping hand have the power to create positive change. Be the spark that ignites good change.
Awesome. And can you tell us a bit about Liger Dragon, the inspiration for your hero persona?
Yeah, Liger Dragon is a martial artist, strongman competitor, and just an individual has great faith in God, who uses his knowledge and abilities to help others whenever he can, however he can.
That was amazingly impactful and concise. Nice. Thank you so much, Liger Dragon. I'm just going to go down the list here, and you know, I see next after Liger Dragon. Actually, you know, I don't want to miss. I'll go down the list after we do the top of the list, which is Widowster, real life superhero Widowster, bringing his endeavors into the JFH universe, crossing them over. Widowster, can you give us a one-liner on who you are, and tell us a little bit more after that?
Oh, this is awesome. Now I'm gonna pop up my hoodie right here. So, well, I got a lot of liners, as you know, I've been, of course, a experience over the years, but you know, never let certain risks stop you from pursuing your dreams. And let's say that one more time. Never let certain risks stop you from pursuing your dreams. But right now I'm just in, you know, laser gear, but you know, typical, you know, good outfit, fashion sense. Pretty much just everything is a pretty great day. So awesome. So anything you like to ask, feel free. Probably don't have too much time because, you know, got this frisky move in about good 15 minutes, and I can feel it coming. I can sense it. I'm just trying to pull this time as much as I can. So.
Well, wait, so that was amazing, and you know, we definitely want to talk a little bit later on the real life superhero experience. So let's plan for that a little bit later today. But
Oh yeah.
No, this is awesome, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, but mainly I would say a little bit brief, a little brief overview. Basically, I've been starting this for quite a while. I've been even before this persona, I was even a whole ninja persona, and then it was just like I didn't like get into it, so it's all about exploration and intention and intensity of that intention of what you're doing. And then when you get into those certain things and you're drawn to those experiences, it can be traumatizing, or it can be beneficial. And you gotta take those everything that you do, in life, regardless of whether it's just some hero tragic backstory, that's just the crutch. You take everything of our life and face value and put it in, what we conspire out on the field. And that's anything that we do. We take risk of anything that we said we do. Hence wise on the pickup line, never let certain risks stop you from pursuing your dreams. Because if you do, that's already the stalemate there, because you kind of just put a stagnated board there. So the best thing you can do is, grow stronger or die and turn to a new form. So, that's the brief on that. I'm more of definitely a multiversal, omniversal perspective. So it's just like a lot, I did a lot of travel and a lot of exploring all my life. So it's just like a lot I can tell with people, resonate with people, help homeless, help people with suicide, depressions, crime revenge. I try to do as much as I can, small or even, as much large scale as if I can, even if I'm there, to make a difference no matter the cost. And, obviously that, that cost and, that relevance and just all of a sudden just, and I'm just, now I just vanished and now I'm back again. And, just usual me, just know how to disappear and appear, just being myself and inspiring those. So I hope that definitely helps out.
That's amazing. I want to talk to you a little bit later about the concept of the crutch. So thank you so much for sharing that. And
No problem.
To get all of our heroes on here, we're going to move on next to Devil Shocker. And thank you so much for being here.
No problem. You all have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Widowster. Let's see, Devil Shocker. Where are
Shit.
Hold on 1 second. I'm getting the view of you so I can actually. There we go. Thank you. And I'm gonna pin the video. All right, Devil Shocker. Wow, look at the outfit. All right. So if you can get that one-liner, please.
All right, here we go. I am the Devil Shocker, and I'm here to shock the world.
Wow. So, Devil Shocker, can you tell us a bit about the inspiration for your hero persona?
Basically, just me, because I am a narcissistic idiot, but also it's because the character is basically a blend. Just like me, your character is a blend of hood, black pride, and anime nerd. So why doesn't that sound like a superhero? I mean,
that is another amazing and concise and impactful response. Thank you so much, Devil Shocker, and please keep up those amazing wrestling moves that like. If anyone's seen his videos, some of the wrestling training, the pro wrestling training he's doing, it's pretty spectacular. So I highly recommend checking out what Devil Shocker is doing on those flips. Okay, so next up we have Sensei Claus. Sensei Claus. Let me pull. See if we're gonna get. I'm gonna pin your video, Sensei Claus. If you can actually start your video, and if you need another second, I'll just move on to somebody else, and we can come back to you.
Hey, am I coming through?
Oh, there we go. We can't see you, but I just asked you to start the video.
Yeah, it's frozen. Just a sec.
Okay, so we'll move on to another hero, and then we'll come back to you. Okay.
Sure.
Can we have Tai Chi Wonder, please?
Can you hear me?
Can see you and hear you. Good. Thank you for being here, man. If you can
Yeah,
give that
it was the hero's call, man. You send out that message. It was like that Batman message. It was like, I have to answer the call. All right, let me get there.
dude, I love the yin yang.
Thank you.
If you can give us that hero one-liner, that'd be amazing.
Okay, I didn't come prepared with the one-liner. It was just one of those things that, my schedule. But as far as my hero and what it has to contribute is just Tai Chi and the energy behind it, right? And knowing how to apply that in either combat or in life, right? We always have the highs and the lows. So with Tai Chi, it definitely puts a balance between both. And then I was just thinking about the concept of Tai Chi Wonder and what that could actually mean. It can mean a lot of different things. It can be that person. When you think about Tai Chi, you either think about old people at the park, you think about like ancient art that actually been practiced through thousands of years, or at least I think 800 years or so. Or you think about like a form of practice that harnesses the inner energy that can actually be used for wonder, right? Wondrous things like moving the wind or bringing in the sun or illuminating the energy around your sight and an inner feeling, as well as possibly causing the person's consciousness to fade for a bit while you attack, right? Using this form of chi, right? So again, like there's different things that people can think about with Tai Chi. So what I would like to bring the Tai Chi or to the heroes universe is the Tai Chi Wonder is kind of limitless. If you pick up the practice or allow somebody to show you a practice, right? So I'm trying to be like that character. Like, you ever seen Power Rangers, where you had that where you had that Green Ranger that just came out of nowhere?
I love the Green Ranger. Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to be like that character. Again, I didn't have a one-liner for this. It was not like prepared at all. But I wanted to be here for the idea, because the idea that you have is beautiful. It is a wonderful idea, and I told myself like I think 2 characters ago, he said that his character brings in faith, right, with God, right? You have God on your side, then there's nothing you can't do. But again, I asked myself, I was like, man, I want to be part of some cool ass shit. And I'm like, duh, the cinematic universe that Jan is trying to create. So I think this is a perfect opportunity, and I really hope that this can actually really flourish. Like, people will just come in and invest, a lot of good money on this, and to get these characters to actually prepare themselves to create something for themselves that's other than themselves, right? Like, this is a good opportunity to be out of character, where we don't have to be out there in the real world functioning within society's norms. But again, yeah, this is a wonderful idea, and I was like, hold on, let me just get on here. But yes, as far as my contribute to the one-liner, it's just Tai Chi is a good opportunity to bask in his wonders, right? As the character is unfolding. I'm still trying to figure that out. But yeah, yep, I just went in different directions, but that's pretty much it.
Beautiful, and thank you. That was wondrous, Tai Chi Wonder. So thank thank you so much, and Born Majestic joining. This is awesome. Okay, so we'll move on to Glitter Girl. Glitter Girl is here, and Glitter Girl, if you are ready with your one-liner, we'd love to have you. Oh, and then Sensei, we'll get to you. Glitter. All right, we got Glitter Girl.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Nice.
One second, let me pin your video. Hey, Glitter Girl.
Yeah, you can see me?
Yes, we can. If you could
Okay.
give us that Glitter Girl one-liner, that'd be great.
My one-liner is Glitter Girl, I use the sparkles to heal the world. That's me, Glitter Girl. This character, she has a soft heart for domestic abuse and physical altercations. So that's one of the crimes that she liked to fight. She used these glitter powers that come out of her hands, and it would just demolish all those bad things that happen. Yeah, that's it.
Glitter Girl, that's fantastic. Thank you so
Yes.
much. And Dave Morales, Retrospect, thank you for joining us, Retrospect. We love you. And great work. And let's go to Sensei Claus. Gonna pin your video, and welcome Sensei Claus, and thank you for the great training on Wednesday. If anyone got to Sensei Claus's Merry Fistmas training, that was a I mean, he's created his own martial arts style around the North Pole. It's crazy. But I'll let Sensei Claus give the one-liner and take it away.
That's cool.
Hey, thanks, Jen. You know, phone cracked up. That's why it's good to have two Zoom accounts. One-liner is, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good fight. So, I like to focus on, I appreciate you, James. I'd like to focus on teaching martial arts because that's something that's gone somewhat by the wayside. In today's world, you have other things you can do with your life, and people don't always see the value that's there. So, Sensei Claus exists to teach people some things that society doesn't need to forget just yet.
That's amazing, Sensei Claus. Thank you so much for sharing that. And just so we're staying on schedule, we're going to get everybody in here. I know that we have Born and Mickey from the Legendary Ciphers that have just joined us, and we're going to start that soon as well. But I want to get to some of our other heroes before we jump in. And so if we could go for EQ next, please. If you could start us off with that one-liner EQ, that'd be great. EQ, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can see you though, but we can't hear you.
How about now? You got me?
Yes.
Okay. I've been trying to boil it down for a one-liner, but I think I'm settling on, I'm here to balance the scales. That has a meaning to what I'm working on. Go ahead.
I see what you did there. Can you tell us a little bit about that hero?
Well, my character's name is Eddie Quinn. That's where the EQ comes from. You see, when I created the character for the audition video, I made that and I wasn't thinking about a name. And so the last line of that video comes, it says that I'm the equalizer. And then I remembered that Denzel Washington's made a couple movies called The Equalizer. So it's probably copyrighted and I probably can't use that. But I'm a musician, so I thought about it. The equalizer knob on an amplifier is just the EQ knob. So that we came to EQ there, and it's kind of flourished into this new story about this guy named Eddie Quinn. He's a thief, and he gets kind of caught up with some of the wrong people. Has to get away from them. But on his travels, he's deciding that he's not a very good person. He's a criminal, number one, but he's just kind of a really rough, violent person. He's not a people person, to say the least. And basically finds out about justice for hire as a way of ass-kicking dispatch. They tell him where to go and whose ass to kick. And that's just kind of how he's going about it. He's not really looking for the purse snatchers. He's looking for the bigger fish to catch. And no revolving door. It's not he doesn't want this constant cycle of arrests and release and corrupt, officials and all that. He's tired of that. So instead of arresting him, he's going the more Punisher, Rorschach route and just solving the problem as it is and balancing those scales a little better, because the forces of good and evil have not been balanced in a very long time, and EQ's here to balance those scales.
That was beautifully put. Thank you, EQ. That was really great. I'm really looking forward to more, and the leather jacket and the hat.
Oh, hold on. Give me 2 seconds and I will show you. I came prepared, Janice. I came prepared.
All right.
Meet EQ.
Amazing, man. Thank you so much, EQ. And I would
guys.
love, thank you. I'd love to go to Tomahawk now. And we have Tomahawk here. And oh, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. About to pin this video. All right, Tomahawk, if you get us that one-liner, please.
Defender of the people, evil will never leave my sight.
Amazing, Tomahawk. Can you tell us a bit about your hero persona?
My hero has known loss, and he's empathetic. He knows how to reach the people, but at the same time put fear in the wrongdoers' hearts. So he's a perfect balance between intimidation and empathy. Can you hear me?
That's yeah, I can hear you. That was great. A balance between intimidation and empathy. I think there's contemplation that needs to happen on that line for me, because that's very deep. I have to sit with that for a little bit, but that's very, very powerful. And we're very, very grateful consistently to have all your training videos. If you guys have been watching Tomahawk's training videos, where he took that wonderful video, he knocked the punching bag off the chain. So he is training. There's no doubt.
It surprised me just as much as it surprised everybody else.
Thank you so much for being here, Tomahawk, and thank you for contributing all this amazing energy. And
thank you for having me.
And you guys know you know AK Wonder, you know Vintage and you know myself from the everything that we're kind of building over the last several years. We've been doing this for almost about 2.5 years now, building JFH as a cinematic universe. And one of the things that you guys are going to start to see next year, because we just won, if everyone isn't aware yet, we just won Best Web Series at WarnerMedia's Urban Action Showcase. That was last Friday. So it's a really interesting time right now, because we've only put out we only put out like a test episode once publicly. And then I think we actually put it out twice, and we kept pulling it off. We put it into the Action Showcase a few years ago. We put a trailer out, and they started supporting us right away. And this year we actually had a few episodes fully complete. So we're probably going to have about 10 episodes of the series, which includes content from every hero on here, as well as content from what we call the central narrative, which is the narrative of building this app, this JFH app. And this JFH app, it actually exists. We're actually building it. And it's coming. It's coming when it's ready. You probably you've seen us push it out. We pulled it back. We put it out for like a few moments on Comic-Con in July. But one of the things that we're doing was producing the series, and the series and the app is going to allow us to, and on Instagram until the app is ready, we're going to be tying together more stories where heroes can do missions and challenges and actually collaborate together on building a story. But one of the coolest things that I really want to talk about right now is one aspect that we haven't shown yet, but we have them on here now, and that's the inclusion of legendary ciphers. And legendary ciphers is, if you're into hip hop, And to me, hip hop is technology. Hip hop is very much technology, rather than it being a form of music or even a subculture. And if you care about hip hop at all, the place to be on a Friday night on the entire planet, is in New York City in Union Square at the Legendary Cypher. The Legendary Cyphers is every Friday night for, I believe it's May through November, and they run a season of ciphers. And they are being integrated. They've joined this JFH cinematic universe, and it's really, really cool to have both Born Majestic and Mickey Hustles on here right now, two of the trio of the Legendary Cyphers group. And I would just love to talk to them a bit about how they're bringing their characters, bringing the what we're doing with bringing the cipher in, what that means for heroes, for all heroes, in terms of getting information from the underground and how we're doing this. So really, really fun stuff. And I'm gonna pin. We got Mickey here, and I don't see Born yet. Okay, so and Mickey, if you could unmute too, please.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, he's I think he went to the bathroom. Put it
it?
on the chat.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm gonna go back to speaker view. But so Mickey, like this is, you brought your persona into JFH, and thank you so much, guys, for we did an amazing shoot in end of August in New York with you guys at the Cypher, and essentially. That there's a surprise that's going to happen at the end of the JFH season 1 when we start putting out content that you guys are very much involved in. Can you talk a little bit about the concept from your perspective of the Cypher knowing what's going on the underground and being able to pull information, for heroes to pull information from the Cypher because it's happening in freestyle? People are rapping about whatever they're looking for, pulling information from the Cypher. So in terms of detective work, so can you talk a little bit about that idea from your perspective?
Yeah, so I mean, I know when it comes to the freestyle aspect of the Cypher within this universe, it's dope though, because you could speak it in code and it's in real time. As for like, instead of sending, it's kind of like a bat signal type, but instead it's out of Cypher and it's centralized like in the middle of the city at which everybody comes around. So it's dope that because we do it in code and freestyle mode, that people could catch it automatically and be like, oh, this is the spot to come to because this is where everybody goes, and anybody that's part of the universe be able to pass by and be like, oh, this is where it's gonna fall out. It kind of reminds me of what's it called? Like Warriors, when they were sending out radio in the radio station, like different type of signals, messages. So it kind of remind me like that when it comes to the Cypher, when we did the being part of it. So I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. Cause I never really thought to be part of something like that. So doing it in a hip hop way, cause hip hop connects to a lot of, like Marvel Cinematic stuff and comic book stuff that they incorporated. So this is kind of a dope aspect to be part of.
So thank you for saying it like that, making that Warriors comparison, because I never watched the Warriors until the video game came out on like PS2. When Rockstar made that Warriors game, and I was like, okay, maybe I should finally watch this movie, because everyone's, JFH before we were doing this was a comic book. So they're like, your comic reminds us of the Warriors. And so it's amazing to hear you make that comparison. And I didn't even think about that. So that's brilliant. Thank you for making that drawing those lines.
Shame on you, Jan. I know you can hear me.
Yeah, so it's dope. It's just a dope thing. Born can add more to that too.
Born. Okay,
what's
your
up?
video.
What's going on? What's going on?
You're doing great, man. Thank you for being here.
No doubt.
As usual.
No doubt. I was listening to him say what he was saying. I think what's dope about it is that, like, plus I'm a big fan of hiding out in the open. You know what I mean? So I think having something that's publicly where anybody could come by and see, you know what I'm saying, somebody wouldn't go to think to themselves, oh, somebody's gonna go there and get some kind of like coded information passed off to another person to find out what's going on.
No, that's yeah. It's the energy at the cipher. If anyone ever makes it to New York, and that, I mean, look, these guys live stream too. And again, this is the like legendary cipher. Like I said, it literally is the place to be in the world of hip hop on the entire planet on a Friday evening. There is no other. So it is, it's a huge deal to have them here, and it's a huge deal to see the nunchucks on the wall behind.
That's just I got it at playground. I was like, when I was a kid, I used to always want them. So I got them. Well, not those, but you know what I mean, nunchucks.
I'm really interested from anybody and everybody on here. What is there something that like, what do you guys want to see from the JFH universe, from either your characters or from I just muted myself, from the storyline. But what would you guys like to see to help inform us in we're essentially working together to build a story, but everyone is actually working on their own story, and we're doing our best to create an infrastructure that ties them together. So that's really the from a storytelling standpoint. That's what we're looking to do for the community, to actually build the community. And of course, I'm a member of the JFH cast as well, so I'm also working on my story while working with the team on the infrastructure for all the stories fitting together. So I'm super interested in everyone's got a character, everyone's got a story. And I'm super interested in how you would like to see your characters supercharged, your story supercharged, and also how how you would like to see your character integrated into the larger universe. So, is anyone? I see the Tomahawk has got his hand raised. I'm not sure if that's intentional, but I'm going to take that.
That definitely was.
Okay, I'm gonna pin your video. Please go for it.
Okay, so I would like for everybody to like come together in ways like a round table, with ideas and ways to link together safely, of course. And also, me is either I'm all or nothing. So I'm all in this. I would like to see us come together, like with just brainstorming how to create a type of not fun, but a type of way to create actual costumes. Because I've been looking into it crazy, and when I first joined, I followed a lot of people who do props, and they would say, "Oh, my costume design is cool," and it was like, how much does it cost to make it? And he said $1,000. I'm like, whoa, hold on, buddy, hold on. So, like an affordable way to make the personality of the hero come out with costume, because a lot of people, they have unique ideas and unique traits, and we want to make sure that it pops out in the cinematic universe, because we are all unique individuals. So like if we could just donate like $5 a week, or create some type of fundraiser, and I'm very good at that, and just so the people that's part of this cast have something to truly let their character out.
Thank you so much for saying that. And Sensei Claus just highlighted the fact that Liger Dragon is an expert in look, Liger Dragon, don't let me put words in your mouth. I see you as an expert in costume design. So Tomahawk, absolutely, we should definitely institute some sort of regular meetup, and that's a cat in the background, not me. It's a real cat. But we should do some sort of regular meetup and we used to do meetups in person in New York. So let's absolutely institute a regular JFH meetup where the cast could come together and talk about and ideate together.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I think that'll be super, super important. And we'll institute that pretty much almost immediately within the next week or so. And outside of that, Liger Dragon, can you give any insights or on creating costumes affordably and you know, perhaps help us set up some sort of infrastructure that can help everybody else to do so as well?
Definitely. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I'm going to pin your video right now. Pinning video. All right.
Yeah, when costume making, yes, Liger Dragon. Yeah. When it comes to costume making, the best way to go about it and how do you keep money in your pockets is eBay. I'm an eBay holic. Like what I have on now, and everything I've been making, eBay. I use eBay and getting information online.
Okay. So
knowledge is out there and it's free.
It's so crazy, right? So the person who designed the Titans uniforms, right? Like the Robin and you know, Starfire and all that stuff, she followed me. And then she was like, because you know, my character is Hawk. And they actually have a character Hawk on it. And I was like, his costume was great. Said, listen, she said, listen, season 3 isn't gonna be filming for a long time. And we redesigned the suit, and I can give you his suit because he's like 6'6", the guy 6'6", my build, everything. Like I'm 6'8", so but you know, it's like he, you know, just reaching out to people. You never know who you like, especially Twitter. Twitter is, I'm telling you, I reached out to so many people on Twitter and they came back to me with so much insight and so much info, and you know, that's how I got to the lady who designed the Titan suit. She designed Batwoman suits, designs Arrow, designs all that, and she was actually looking for people to test suits on. So I you know, just reach out to her. I can send you send the chat her at on Instagram and just reach out. You never know.
So am I getting feedback? Sounds
Yes,
like
because I actually have a question.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, so you good? Yeah. So while I have everyone here, I think, you know, my character is AK Wonder, in case you guys don't know, and what I love most about JFH is that, you know, most people go to entertainment as escapism, but we're actually, while we're creative and imaginative, JFH, Justice for Hire, can also have an impact in real life. So I'm curious, as heroes and as some real life superheroes too as well, you know, what you guys would like to change in your community and how we can help. So like we can fictionalize these solutions to what might be going on in your community. So what's going on in your community that you'd love to see change, and how are you helping, and then how can we help? I'd love to hear anyone's thoughts on that. Bill?
Thank you. So I was saying this earlier when Mr. Lucanis was getting everything ready, but I live about 15 minutes away from Washington, D.C., which is a sex trafficking hotspot of the nation, one of the sex trafficking hotspots of the nation. And that's one thing. I mean, I've been working with advocacy groups to help get the word out about that, but that's one thing that I'd like to see change in my community. Also, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in DC once January 20th rolls around. Because while this area isn't super high risk for militia violence, you know, it's still going to get rough.
You never know.
So that's a couple of things I figured I'd just bring up. Also, I remember there was a time, this was several years ago, but there was a time when there were at least 10, you know, pedophiles living within a few miles of my house. And that's not the case anymore. But there's like, you know, my area is for the most part rich. And so these people can get away with basically anything because they have money. And that's one thing that I, you know, both me and Vale as a character are very eat the rich type people, you know? So or we're not huge fans of people being able to get away with stuff because of money.
Thank you, Vale, for sharing that. And does anyone else?
Hi, my name's Hawk Lee. Nighthawk Films is my business. Are there Asian characters in your universe? I just popped in. I attended the 2015, 2016, and 2018 in-person conventions. Yeah.
So yes, I mean, pretty much anybody can join. One of the characters, one of the only characters that has, and hopefully you're going to join, Hawk.
Oh, yeah, I studied some martial arts since I was 10, on and off. So yeah.
So I think someone just shouted out Vintage, who has Asian descent. Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Why?
I have Asian descent too. It's not apparent, but it's there.
But like, what's this? Is there like, what's the story behind your characters? I'm new to this world.
Okay, hold on. Look, well, I'm pinning Vintage right now.
Yeah.
Vintage is now working directly with the oh, Vintage. Are you? I think you're muted. Are you muted? You are muted. Oh, and Glennis is here too. So, hold on. No, I still can't hear you, Vintage. And Hawk, just to let you know, one of the only characters to return from the comic book series, the JFH comic book series, is Sudden KO, which is played by Max Chen, and he is he actually ran one of our training sessions earlier this week. Pro Muay Thai fighter, martial arts royalty. But yeah, Vintage, please go for it.
Are you muted still? You can always call on the phone, like.
Type something in.
Yeah, just why don't you type? I muted myself. I'll press the unmute button.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Might be an audio issue.
Actually, Vinci, can you speak for a second? Because I think I just heard you. Definitely didn't. Okay.
What I do is that I'll also call on the phone. So maybe I'll work through, if he calls in through the phone app. So
Sure,
maybe
let me
work on the desktop and might work on the phone.
Yeah, I'll Vintage. We'll send you a phone link in a second. And Rami just joined too. Great, but Hog, did you have any deeper questions in terms of like the diversity? Oh, hold on, Vintage is coming on. Diversity in the JFH universe.
To answer the question that the young lady, like what in my community, well, me and my wife, we own a gym for at-risk youth, and you know, that's a big thing that we truly invest our time and money into, making sure that kids who are at risk at home or in the streets have somewhere to go. And can you hear me? Okay, there.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
This is super inspiring. Please tell us more because I had no idea. This is awesome.
And so out of the last 10 years we own the gym, we helped get I say 86 kids to college for free, through scholarships.
Wow.
And
that's
amazing. You know, the thing is, they don't become just like kids to us. They become our adoptive kids, and we want to make sure that the youth have someone to look up to, just beyond sports or athletics, you know, morally. And because in this time, who do they have to look up to? That's not an entertainer. That's not a person in a movie or a person dunking a ball. You know, it's just beyond that. And we all got to do that. We all, as heroes, we all have to be morally upright. And that my community, I want that so bad, and I want that for all your communities to be somebody to look up to.
Hey, do you have like an Instagram or something that I can follow or something?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, do you follow the chat instead of me just saying it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat right now.
You can plug yourself.
Awesome.
Okay. My first one is
we won't hold it.
Plug it.
The Hawk
Plug the
2084.
gym.
The Hawk 2084.
It's in our stories right now too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then my other one is my name, TJ Stooks. One word.
Which one is for the mentorship or whatever?
Well,
You should follow
the
Ball.
follow
Yeah,
both,
for
yeah.
sure.
But I would say like my Hawk page is for my interest.
Okay.
And my personal page is for what I actually do, you know, with the kids and with the youth and myself and my children. And, you know, because I tend to, I always said leaders lead through example. You know, a boss barks orders and leaders lead through example. So I would like to deem myself a leader, but it's not up to me, you know, I have a strong personality, but at the same time, I also listen, which I've learned. I didn't know that at first. So, you know, with the kids that me and my wife, we bring to our gym, you know, especially nowadays, safely, they have a place to go where they are safe mentally and physically, because we also opened our gym to COVID testing. So we became an essential, you know, business. And we do it for free. We pay out our pockets to provide rapid testing, so they get it the next day. So we don't expect people, they come in and they think that, oh, how much do I got to pay? No, you're good. Don't worry about it. And they deserve to know if they're safe or not. So that's what we do in our community. And it's almost like Bruce Wayne and Batman, you know? Like Bruce Wayne is the guy who acts like he's a jerk, but, you know, in the background, he supports everybody. And then Batman is the jerk who beats up all the people doing wrong.
Was watching Lego Batman with my son 2 days ago, and the line was, "You can't just go around karate chopping poor people." It's like that's hilarious. I never thought about Batman in that way. Vintage, I wanted you to because we have some I want to address a little bit more of Nighthawk Films question in terms of so everyone knows Vintage is working directly with JFH on a daily basis right now. So he's essentially one of the hosts of this. Myself, AK Wander, and Vintage aren't really talking too much because we're doing our best to kind of coordinate everybody and actually get them on here. But Vintage, if you could tell a little bit about your character and just your journey in JFH, I think it'd be super helpful for everybody to know.
Yeah, so my character necessarily isn't Asian oriented, but I do incorporate my own style into it. So for example, like this is real life, by the way. I don't necessarily want to cater towards the Western culture too much because I am Westernized and I am also Eastern descent. So I try to represent my culture even by just wearing like this Chinese kung fu shirt, you know what I mean? And
Can you back up and show the shirt? Can't see the shirt.
Flower of life.
It's a nice logo though.
Yeah. It's not a logo, it's actually a sacred geometric symbol that's been prevalent throughout the whole world throughout time. And it has a lot of knowledge and wisdom encoded onto it, and that's why I choose to represent it, you know?
Very nice.
But, you have something to say, EQ?
Oh, I was just saying it's very nice.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm
Thank
really
you, bro.
digging.
Thanks, bro. But yeah, so it's funny because I came across JFH and it really resonated with me because everything that I wanted to do, JFH kind of created an umbrella for it. So for example, I'm promoting this concept called spiritual artivism, that basically arts is the bridge between spirituality and activism, both of which we need. spirituality, because we need to work on our internal, you know, we need to move energy, stagnant emotional energy and stuff like that. But also the world is pretty messed up right now, so we gotta be putting solutions into practice, you know. So that's where the activism comes in. And art bridges all worlds, you know, it speaks to all hearts and minds. So that's a concept that I've been trying to embody. And I think JFH embodies that very well, because it's about heroism and hero culture and helping the community. But we're doing this in a fictionalized way, you know? So it doesn't necessarily have to be some serious butt-kicking action or something and risking your life. You can film something of you guys like figuring a solution out. Like, say there's a problem with budget, right? Maybe you guys can create a video of certain heroes getting together and discussing the problem at a round table, and maybe you guys can come up with a solution that JFH promotes. And then now more and more people around the world are aware of this idea that where we fictionalize the solution, you know what I mean? So, but getting back to my character, I guess, I don't really know what else to say. So Jen, if you want to ask specific questions, I can answer them. Or AK.
Nighthawk, did you have any follow up on that?
Yeah, because 2011 Occupy Wall Street was my my first big protest, and then 2018 when I was abolish ICE NYC, and then a couple months later the government started to deport like Vietnamese people. So I'm Vietnamese, so that became a concern. Like, is the government trying to restart the Vietnam War? So I wonder if that could be an interesting take in a comic. I also ink, and I'm studying with Joe Del Vito. He worked with Marvel and DC in the 80s and 90s as an inker.
That's beautiful, man. I mean, you know, you are welcome to join the cast. I mean, anybody can join the cast, and we really are doing something, like I said, that's really never been done before, and we are figuring it out as we go. So that's why even doing what we're doing now is so important, coming together as a community. And you know, we have some of our like formal cast members here, because like, again, this is like still a series of a movie. Aujali just joined, Thomas Redis just joined, but we also have and I wanted to take a second because this is still going very informally. We have Arachnoid, a real life superhero who just joined here, and we wanted to have him talk a little bit about his integration of his character of essentially a real life superhero persona into a shared cinematic universe. And Arachnoid, I'd love to. This is our first time meeting. I've never had the opportunity to really talk to you personally, so I'm very, very excited to finally have you on board. So can we get a little bit of information about your how you feel about bringing real life superhero energy into essentially a shared cinematic fictional universe? Because what you do is real. I'm not sure if we can hear you yet. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
One, I want to thank you for having me on here. It's kind of exciting. Two, excuse the look. I have been up all night. Like, I have not slept. I just don't sleep a lot. Personally, I think it's nice, especially if, like, I don't know, a lot of heroes, they become heroes. Mostly they grew up reading about heroes, watching heroes, and then something somewhere in life just makes them, I don't know, just become one. Me personally, it was much as like before I started, I loved heroes, I kept up on all the movies, tried to keep up on all the shows, but then I had work. But after certain things happened, I don't know if you want me to get into that, I just thought, you know, why not I just do it? Instead of, like, why sit around and dream about it when I could just do it? And then when I started, at first, I thought it was going to be like a one-time thing. next thing you know, it just became a habit. So now I've been doing it for a few years now, actually. It's a main part of my life, actually. Maybe even the biggest part right now, because I mean, I'm young, I have nothing else to do. So that's what I got. I think personally, having a cinematic universe, I think it would put a lot of understanding into other heroes if you could see somewhat what they go through. You know, a lot of people look at us and think, oh, they're cosplaying, they're wearing funny suits, you know, they really want to be heroes, when 9 times out of 10, we're the reason that there's been no gunshots in the neighborhood, or the drug has slowed down in the neighborhood. I mean, where I used to live before I moved, it was like everyone in the neighborhood knew me. It was like I was, you know, that one kid. So it was also kind of hard for me, because in the beginning, whenever everyone had found out, I remember exactly how someone had got a video of me one day, like out of the blue. It was at night, but I was wearing something that night that everyone at school had seen me wear. Next thing you know, I go to school that morning, I'm all bruised up, sort of limping, called out of gym class. I just sat on the bench because I just wasn't lifting that day. And everyone came up to me and it was like, oh my God, you're that dude, da 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 da. And then there was like a lot of like, I don't know, I guess you could say like at one point I was more famous than the football players, the sports players. And the thing about that is I see a lot of heroes out here, especially older ones, they let it go to their head. So that's the only thing that worries me about this, is that, you know, in doing this, are we potentially creating another Phoenix Jones or something? Pretty sure a lot of y'all heard of that guy.
Yeah, wait. So wait, you
I know.
dress up and do the Phoenix Jones thing, or you're playing a character? I was confused.
Oh no, I do like Phoenix Jones, just not in his way.
Not the other part.
I mean, I can say I've been in situations, but it's like I'm not. Personally, I think the way he started is like how all of us started. We were pretty innocent in the game. We were just doing, you know, what we had to do. But later in life, you know, things just change. I could say everyone in life is going to have that one thing that's going to flip them to the one person that, you know, that one person that they actually despise. I've seen it numerous times, family members, friends. I watched one of my best friends who was I was actually supposed to have a partner when I started. Like it wasn't even supposed to just be me. It was supposed to be, you know, at the time I was Spider-Bite. It was supposed to be Spider-Bite and I don't know, whoever his sidekick was. But he had went to a party and I don't know, he got back to school that morning and, you know, he was supposed to, you know, let me know because he was actually working on his own suit. He was supposed to show it to me and everything. He just wasn't acting right. He went from he was, you know, higher than me in the science classes. So he went from being straight A's to like, he started missing assignments and everything. Next thing you know, his parents had him sent to rehab because, you know, he went to the party, he got into something and it turned him into someone he actually despised because someone in his family was like that too. So it's like, I don't know. Most people got to understand we're not out here trying to be superheroes. We still are actual people. I can prove that every night that I go out and I come in with bruises or I can barely walk up the stairs or I've had some nights where I used to live, I was with my adopted parents at the time. I had to climb back in the window every time I snuck out. So there were some times where it was like, the window was like 7 foot high. So it wasn't that high. So there was times where I was literally struggling to get up there. That's usually easy for me. But this time I was just struggling because, well, sort of got not beat up, but I took quite a few bruises and a few scars. I've still got permanent scars from it. And, you know, I have people ask me, like, why do you do this? some of my answers is, one of my main answers is, I do not know. I just do it. It's just something that I feel that I have to do. I've never had a drive to do more things in my life. And frankly, I hope that I could do it for many more years. But it's like, you know, that is my only worry. I don't want a hero to join, you know, with the right mindset, and then he lets it get to him. That's all.
Arachnoid, I think that's what you said. Thank you for sharing all of that. That's so amazing that to hear. And you know, I think that if we, that's a valid concern. Essentially, us going to your head, getting stuck in the ego. I think is a valid concern.
Oh yeah, power.
Please.
Power can really mess with you.
Absolutely, and you know, it's you know, I'll say this: we are doing our best to make sure that character is the thing we are training the most on JFH,
yes.
Because you know, the deeper the character, I think that'll help counterbalance as we are growing, and everybody on this chat right now is very much a foundational hero, and there are other foundational heroes for what we're building that are not here. We're grateful to all of them, but this is we're getting bigger all the time, and getting and you know, we just need to make sure that we counterbalance that size with the depth of character. So
I actually remember when I first heard of you guys and everything, it was like, I don't know if y'all remember, I was still sort of a kid. So, you know, I'm excited. You know, I'm hearing, oh, cinematic universe, you know, this is my chance. I don't want to be like a small town hero anymore. And at one point, I'm saying a lot of this because I experienced a lot of this personally, and I'm not afraid to admit it. At one point, as you know, I was young, I almost let it go to my head. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, they got casting, and you know, there's gonna be like a whole app, and I'm like, I'm a part of that. You know, I was just like, let's go. But then I learned really quick, you know, I sat down with myself and I just thought, okay, don't be that guy, you know, don't be him. Because at one point I actually was, sorry, sir, I actually was gonna be that one kid that let it go to his head. Like I almost got into so much trouble. The day that I found you guys, I had went out and I had patrolled that night. And I was actually thinking so hard about it that I was actually supposed to catch someone. I was thinking so hard and I was so full of myself that they actually like got away. Like I'm not even joking. Like I literally looked up and they were running the opposite direction of where I thought they were gonna run. So now I'm just like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? I was so mad at myself for like a week. I eventually found them with the help of the cops. I'll admit that they helped me a little bit because, you know, I don't have all this fancy tech that everybody else has. I have to do this by hands. I have to write stuff down on paper. So it's like, yeah. So when I'm saying this like from experience. I'm not saying it just like, you know, I'm worried about it because, you know, I'm worried about it. Everyone should really be worried about it because, I mean, you know how many people looked up to Phoenix Jones? When I first heard about him, I was like, this guy really got an expensive suit. He is walking around doing this. And this was before I'd even become a hero. So I was just like, wow, he's really doing this. And I heard about him getting stabbed and stuff. And then me being young, I'm like, okay, I would love to do this, but I don't want to get stabbed, you know? I don't want to get hurt. And then when I started, I was like, I realized, you know, there are certain things you got to really put aside if you're going to do stuff for others. And, you know, that's what I had to do. I had to put my fears aside. I had to put my reservations aside just so I could help everyone else. And to this day, I'm glad I did it because I wouldn't do it any other way. If I had to go back and start again, I'd do it the exact same way because I'm glad the person that is made me now. I'd say being a hero has actually changed me as a person. like actually changing me personally as a person. Like I'm more disciplined. I have to be, because where I was staying, you weren't paying attention. You know, I lived up the street from basically, I guess you could call the hood. Gunshots every night, you know, drug deals going down, fights, loud parties, all of it. And frankly, I was one of the kids that always wanted to go to the parties, but thank goodness I didn't, because a lot of bad things always happen at the parties. But it's like, and the things that I was doing, and I'm not afraid to admit it now, I was really stopping things down there before I left. And the things that I was doing, if I was not paying attention, someone else could have got hurt. I could have got hurt. Someone could have died. That would have been on my hands. And frankly, I don't think anyone wants to have someone dying on their hands, accidental or personally. So I really had to like pay attention. And I don't know, it had its nights where I would wake up just sore, wondering if I should even go to school that day, because it was like, why am I doing this? I admit it. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I love my job. Oh, I love doing this. This is my passion. They won't tell you about the times they wake up in the morning and they're like, should I really do this? Should I really be doing this? Frankly, I say, I don't know. A lot of people out there, it's like, everyone wants to be the tough guy. Everyone wants to have no weaknesses. When frankly, weaknesses is what helps us achieve our best. I'm glad I have weaknesses. I'm glad I'm human. I'm glad that, you know, I can get hurt by things. I'm glad that I can get allergies. I'm glad about anything that can hinder me from doing stuff. I'm glad about it, because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be working as hard at what I do.
Aragno, I think you bring up a really good point, that, you know, and just kind of reminding everybody that Arachnoid is a real life superhero, and he does take that on, that responsibility on, and what we're doing on JFH very much is a fictional cinematic universe, but that allows anybody from any walk of life to bring in to essentially share their story, and to share their story and to connect their story with others, and to help those stories, because everybody at all times is telling themselves a story. So, yeah. and so it's super important to remember that whether or not you are, you know, everyone has a character in life. You may have multiple characters, and even the concept of the alter ego is a massive component of high performing individuals, whether they're top CEOs, top athletes. The use of an alter ego, even in the concept of prayer to a deity, and embodying the deity, all of these things connect to the concept of the alter ego, and there's a bunch of science and a bunch of data behind this. So when we are working on our personal stories, and we're talking to, let's say, a real life superhero like Arachnoid, and he's going out and doing missions, you know, real life missions, and you know, he is getting hurt. When we are talking about,
I still have one right here. It's kind of recent.
When we're talking about the context of the JFH universe, we're talking about the missions that are, again, we're fictionalizing solutions to real world problems, but we're also utilizing these stories, because the mechanics of the stories, whether they're real or they're imagined, are still the mechanics of storytelling. And the mechanics of storytelling can help us to evolve, to change, to become more empathetic. These are all so important for all of us to grow as a human race. So I just want to draw the line between someone who is really a superhero, really doing this stuff, and the fact that anyone who joins JFH, you don't have to actually go and do that. You know, you can still have fun, and that kind of bridges. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Another kid. There was another kid. I don't know. I met him on the internet. I haven't talked to him since. I guess he just disappeared. Maybe I changed his mind. He had a wrong idea. He had heard about JFH because, you know, I had tagged you guys a few times. I'd shared like a few stories. And he's thinking, he thought if he comes in, he was going to come out a hero. And I was like, no. Because I sort of know this kid a little bit. and he easily he misunderstands things, and then he ends up getting in trouble with it. So I told him, I was like, dude, it doesn't matter if you're a hero or not. I mean, it's going to be a cinematic universe. So, I mean, you get to sort of be a hero, but you're not really a hero. And he was like, no, I want to go in. I was like, dude, it's not, it's not like that. I was like, you want me to train you? I can do it. But, a lot of people going in, they were kind of confused because it was like, so what are we doing? And I was like, it's a cinematic universe. It was kind of funny though. I still, like, every once in a while I'll talk to him. He'll be like, how's everything going? I'm like, great, just stay in school.
First and foremost, we want people to have fun, and
Yeah.
we want to make sure that and we have some it's really important to remember that JFH is we're building from the ground up a story, but there is source material that is actually a comic book series, and the comic book series ran from 2007 to 2015, and we set some records in digital downloads on Comixology and other competing platforms, and we really rebooted. We said, this comic series was really written for the pre-app age, and what would happen if we wrote it now from the ground up. And the concept of an app that's Uber for Heroes is really what came out of that. And so when it came to saying, hey, you know what, how are we going to and Rachno, as I segue into this, I'm going to be introducing some of the other cast members. So I just want to say thank you again for sharing that your story here, and I definitely want to expand on it and bring you more into our regular meetups that we are going to be kicking off in the coming weeks. But when it comes to these other wonderful cast members that are coming and actually embodying some of the characters and heroes from the comic book series, we have some of them on here right now with us. First and foremost, we have Angeli, and I always Gilbald. Is that the best way to say it, Angeli?
Gilbo.
So
My students call me Gilbo.
So we have Angeli, we have Hinton Wells, who has played actually, before I go to Hinton, Angeli is playing Justine Acella from the comic books. So if you are aware of the comic books, you know what that means, and if you're not, then you'll find out eventually. But Angeli has dedicated some amazing performances to JFH. We have Hinton Wells on here now as well, and Hinton Rami Wells, who has played Dread in the comic books. The comic books had a whole bunch of short films associated with them, web series. All of this is non-canonical to what we're doing right now as of today. And so all of those old comics, all the web stuff, that's a previous iteration where we're starting from scratch. And so we're only really selected a handful of characters to come back. Sudden KO is not on here right now, but we have also new characters such as Annabelle, our first client, the first JFH client, and she is here. Corinne, is that the best? I don't want to butcher anyone's name. I'd rather have everyone say them.
Well, it's Ruhe in German, but Ruhe is fine.
Oh,
whatever.
Thank you. So we have Adam Goyer, the Emerald Banker, someone who's been involved with JFH for a very long time, for years, in helping to strategize and to ideate across the board, both cinematically and from a strategic and cultural impact perspective of where JFH is going. So we're grateful to have him on. And Thomas Redis. I'll give him the gentlemanly introduction. Thomas Redis here, who is a new character, who is playing one of the leads on developing the JFH app. Who also in real life is helping to develop the JFH app with our real life lead and also cast member, Andra Roxana Stanchu, who is here as well. There we go. We got a nice little wave. And of course, I think that's oh, hold on, I think we have Brian. I think we have Brian on here, and Brian Frumberg, who is here, and Brian plays himself. I don't see his video, but Brian is actually the head of Venture Out. Hold on, there he is. He plays himself in the series. I play a version of myself, but Brian plays he's at Venture Out right now. Look at him. So Venture Out is one of the most active startup accelerators on the planet. And Venture Out has been very, very supportive of Justice for Hire, to the extent of Brian even coming into to help us build the vision for the app, but help us actually produce the series and becoming a character himself in the series. So it's you may have seen him when we put out tidbits of episode 1 about a year ago and kind of pulled them back because we've been waiting to have more episodes cut. Now we have about 4 of them. So we have cast on here. We have cast on here and from across the country, and cast from the central narrative around the app. So I'm just really grateful to have everybody here at the same time, and to be merging. This is all about us merging together all the characters and stories. And of course, this is a Zoom chat. Part of this Zoom chat is canonical. Sometimes when you guys are speaking in character, we are recording all of this, so we will pull little tidbits of that for the series. But for the most part, we're here together to just celebrate that we've been doing this for a little over 2 years, and that we just won Best Web Series for WarnerMedia's Urban Action Showcase. So I wanted to, and we also have, and we're gonna have a little panel with him in a bit as well, and Sage Michael. We have our the very, very the world renowned, in all honesty, Angel Spit. We have Carl, aka Zoog from Angel Spit, screaming into the screen, who is essentially scoring JFH, scoring the series. And Angel Spit is, if you're not into cyberpunk music, the world-renowned cyberpunk band, you should be into it. Carl Sound is absolutely amazing. What he's done for JFH and creating a sonic landscape is a huge deal. So we have everyone on here, and I want everyone just to be able to say hi to each other, because not everyone has been in scenes together. I wanted cast members to be able to ask other cast members, whether you're in scenes together or not, to say hi, to talk about a little bit about your characters, and AK Wonder, of course, as well. AK Wonder is, you guys already know, is also a main cast member so I don't really introduce myself or vintage over and over again, but you guys know this. So Julia, I would just love for you to kind of just set this off for a moment of talking a bit about just your experience in JFH, your character, just kind of give everyone a little some framing there.
Sorry. Hey, it's so good to see everyone again. It's been a really long time since I've seen all of you together, or most of you together in person. It's really an honor to get to play Justine. It's been so incredible to get to work and have so much freedom with Jan to develop this character together, and who she is and what she stands for, and to put so much of myself in it. Especially coming into filming, I had been recovering from numerous injuries, and it was really great to be able to incorporate that as my character. How do we overcome these injuries and find the strength and the motivation and the will, when that will is so strong, to get out of one situation and into another. Justine has a tough background. She's coming out of a difficult relationship that is quite problematic. And I think one of the great things of being able to play Justine is really getting to do things I wish that I could do, or fantasies that I kind of have, and to defend other women. And really that's kind of a big driving force for Justine, and well, for myself in life, but Justine gets to do it a little more extreme than I would.
Thank you, Anjali. And we have. I'd love for Corinne to talk a bit as well, just in terms of her experience and about her character and how she can utilize that character. What it means to be a client in JFH, because we have so many heroes on here, but we actually need the clients. We need people to be identifying the challenges that the heroes are going to be taking on, because we as the hero characters may have tunnel vision sometimes and may need to be directed to where to put all that energy. So I'm really interested in talking to the two client characters we have on here, both Corinne and Adam, and I'll pin Corinne right now.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Well, it's a little lonely, client-wise. So when I started working with Jan, like 2.5 years ago, I think it's almost, I created this character, Annabelle, who is a physician. She's a brain surgeon. She has a daughter that dies from brain cancer, and then she goes into research, and she finds somewhat a cure, or she makes big progress, and she works with someone in the lab by the name Tim Becker, and they were involved for a little while. And when she parted from him, he stole her research results and submitted them as his own, which caused, of course, not only a big disappointment, but also anger. So she turned into someone who feels betrayed, not only hurt, but tremendously betrayed. And she becomes a client of JFH because she feels she has to make sure things go right, because there's always somebody who's gonna try to take things away from you and take advantage of you. So that was interesting in the beginning, when she got her purse stolen and all these things, that was good. But what we discovered along the way is that she tends to abuse the system a little bit, because she's so focused on not being taken advantage of and law and order that she reports every little thing. So somebody said earlier the danger of having power and to abuse it. And I find this an interesting twist within the character, how you can kind of get addicted to power, and then you lose some kind of the perspective of what's appropriate and what's not. And that's an interesting edge to perform with.
Thank you, Corinne, for sharing that. And Adam, I'd love for you to kind of expand on that in terms of your perspective of the client role in JFH, please.
Sure. How I've thought of the Emerald Banker is as someone who is interfacing with the kind of power networks of finance and politics and culture, to help shape and direct the heroes as they're on their ongoing journey. And the clients more specifically are people who need help with something. Ultimately, everyone has a gap or a blind spot as we kind of interface with the world. And ultimately, hero is just someone that steps in to fill that gap, be it in the world of, solving a crime or, protecting a synagogue from graffiti. There's always something that needs to be done. And ultimately, our role as heroes is to take responsibility for filling the gap. And the clients help identify that gap.
Thank you, Adam. That was really well said. And so I'd love to talk to both our tech team, the tech heroes here, and we'll start with Tommy in New York right now. who was actually on the very first JFH shoot for the new series. The very first day, Tommy was on camera, and so I would love to talk to him about his perspective of the universe building, the technology building, and doing those two things simultaneously. We're building both tech. It's very meta. We're building the app in the series, and we're building the app in real life. And we said we were going to start the series without the technology. We're just going to start it. And so, Tommy, can you talk about that?
Yeah. So Wild Ride, we're doing a great job at really getting everything very, very quickly up. And, I do feel a little bit like a hero for, I grew up watching those hacker movies and all that kind of stuff. And to be part of building something real very quick, it's kind of a dream come true because I know this is the future. This sort of cinematic universe is, I've talked to Jen, been friends for a long time, and he's really told me, he's really convinced me of how future cinema is going to be, and being a part of it is almost hero-esque. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
Thanks, Tommy. Let's Andra, can you? I'd love for you to add to that with I just muted myself again. We'd love for you to add to that with what your character and how you and Tommy are working together, and how Andra in real life is building the app literally every day. So, but we're doing it simultaneously in the story and in real life, so it's a whole thing. Andra, please.
Hi. Okay. Better now. Cool. First of all, I'm very honored to be in front of the camera. I'm getting used to building a cinematic universe, so that means that I have to be in front of the camera also, not only behind the scenes. What Jen trusted me with, and Tommy, and working with Tommy, just exposes the tech industry best practices, the limitation that exists in technology and that we're breaking the barrier for. And also from a culture perspective, the collaboration between male and female, and how important it is to support each other. I've gotten a tremendous support from Tommy. If Tommy wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here. So it goes like that. It's very real what we're doing. We're closer and closer, and the closer you get to the goal, your blind spots get exposed. But that's where the storytelling fills the gap, and that's the building of something that it's not out there yet. So I've been working here in Los Angeles with the team, and whatever questions you have, or for me particularly, for a woman, for a girl who codes, because this is like my Superman cap, from Romania, who moved to the States and is doing this since she was 4 or 5. This experience has been cathartic in the very sense that I used to do martial arts, but I stopped doing it. And now I'm back to resurrect that Karate Kid in me through Justice for Hire, and not being just the one who codes, but bridging the reality with the universe, all while blending culture, tech, and human values. And for me, it's an honor, and having Tommy's support and the team and all of you patiently waiting for transforming that fiction into reality. I'm very, very grateful for you all, and I'm looking forward to get to that goal together with all of you.
Thank you, Andra, for that, and for I'd love to bring to Brian, because we have Brian here, and I want to just kind of go through have everybody in the cast kind of talk for a second. So Brian Frumberg, if we can get your video and audio, love to see you. And we also have, okay, there he is. I'm going to pin your video. And
what's going on, my friend?
Can't hear you yet.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Am I on mute? Oh, I was on mute. I had everything muted. There we go. Please.
You
Lock
just
it
need to
up,
leave the mute
Jack.
button alone.
Stop muting yourself, man.
It's it's
4 times now.
2 buttons.
Who else is a host? Is somebody fucking with him?
no, it's just me. It's just me trying to go between, because I'm in the same room with Autumn and Andra, aka Wonder and Andra. So we're all next to each other on these laptops, but we don't want to get that echoing, piercing sound for everybody. So that's why the mute button. Hold on, that's a fake background? That's not Venture Out.
That's a fake background. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so
it does fake people out because it's actually my office.
Wow. Makes you wonder what's going on behind you.
It's a cooler background than my in-laws patio.
Dude, I chose the woods.
No, that would be cooler. Although Jan, we ended up closing on a house, or we're about to close on a house, so my background there will be cooler because it's on a lake. Nice. So we maybe can do like a JFH reunion lake party.
Nice. You hear that, all the heroes?
COVID free.
Like this.
We're all gonna fly into Brian's house. We're gonna helicopter into Brian's house on the lake.
Exactly.
Messed up, Brian.
If you could just tell us a little bit about, as you share your experience with just like JFH, the real world technology that's actually powering JFH, like just your thoughts on what it means for you to be a part of the cast when you're normally working with startups that may not necessarily be producing a series.
Yeah, I think that I get to work with 150 to 200 different startups and their founding teams every single year. Jan and I met because I was trying to find a really talented videographer, and our friend in common, Ash from StartEd, which was then at NYU, introduced us. And then Jan, Jan's obviously a whole lot more than someone that can produce really, really high quality videos for people. And he's, sort of sucked me into his world like I think he does with everybody that he meets. It's part of your charm, buddy. And I got to learn about, a lot of the different projects and that he was working on. And we ended up figuring out some kind of, quid pro quo swap, because I was running a program that was helping companies in the media space, really new media, advanced media, to be able to grow and scale and connect with industry leaders and investors. And so Jan and I did a little swap where he could come in and do that. And I'd get some benefit of some content he would create. And so, all that's to say, I get a chance to work with a lot of companies and a lot of different founders and a lot of different innovators in the work that we do at Venture Out. It's one of the things that I like the most about it. But after doing that for 8 years and having worked with like well over 1,000 companies, rarely am I experiencing things that are new. And basically everything that I experience with Jan is a unique and new experience. And so having the opportunity to not only work with him on the company, the real company that sits behind a lot of the work that is sort of powering this community and these projects, but also on the actual feasibility of a JFH application, something real world that could actually work, is cool. There's reality there, like a lot of it. And then having that bridge over into more of the story fantasy side of it has been really compelling and interesting, because it's just a world that I'm not familiar with at all. And then getting the opportunity to actually play a character that is really like a caricatured version of me in the industry and world that I'm in is so fun, especially because my sense of humor is a dry one, where I sort of feign being like the douchiest version of someone that could ever be in my kind of a position. And so getting to actually do that to try to get people to buy it, it's like the role I've been practicing for my entire life based on my entire sense of humor. And so it's been such a unique and fun opportunity, and I've gotten a chance to meet so many of you. And Jan, I feel like one of the things we probably have the most in common is that we have this like force field that rejects assholes, and the people that surround us are really good people. And so it's so often that people that I surround myself with meet each other and become close. And I think the same thing is true with you. And it's why I've been able to get close with so many people I've met through you, is because you surround yourself with really good, positive people. And so it's been a joy being a part of the many different things that you have going on and a part of the JFH community. So thanks for inviting me here today and giving me a chance to share.
Dude, thank you so much, man, for being here. And I want to just kind of let everybody know that Brian is so accessible. You know, it's really, really amazing that that you know, one of the things that we're doing in this community is bringing people together. And I think that you just kind of recognize when you have people as resources to help open up your mind to possibilities. I mean, I pushed into the to the New York startup ecosystem, coming from born and raised in New York, but I spent a bunch of time in Hollywood, and I really wasn't aware of what was happening in the tech ecosystem nationwide, worldwide, but especially centralized between New York and Silicon Valley. And so to have somebody like Brian, essentially a tap away. Brian's in Cast Chat. Brian is part of JFH. We're all part of this thing. So you know, he's so accessible. Whatever you're working on, you know, he's the kind of guy you can just talk to and get some guidance from. And again, you know, the together the world is at our fingertips. So I think it's just so important for everybody on this Cast Chat right now, and anyone who's watching this even later on when it's on, to just remember that that's the kind of access and system that we are building together, and it goes far beyond JFH. But you know, we're doing it in JFH, and yeah, we're all here together. We're all a team. So
I'll echo on top of that, Jan, and for anyone that does want to connect, if there's any way that you think I might be able to be helpful, any friend of Jan's and JFH is a friend of mine. So feel free to reach out if we're in any channels, or ask Jan to put us in touch. And what I'll do is I'll put a link in the chat here to the first episode of a 3-part series that Anna Kotiza, who I also met through Jan, filmed and produced with a lot of Jan's direction, which should give you a good sense of what we do at Venture Out and what I can help with, because it's the story of Jan actually coming through our program, and it's also shot really well, and it's like a compelling story. So I'll share episode 1, and then you can find the links to episode 2 and 3 are in like the about of the YouTube video. So I'll go grab it and share it now.
Thank you, Brian. And we have one more cast member that joined us late. I want to just integrate him right before we switch over to our wonderful music section segment. And so this is Max Chen, aka Sudden KO, world-renowned professional fighter, martial arts royalty. Like Max is, I'm not going to say what he is my favorite because I don't want to curse, because that's off brand. But but Max, I love Max so much, and he's here, and he's one of the characters from the comic book series. From the original content that came back. He's still the same Sudden KO. And so, Max, if you could just, you know, talk a little bit about your character, about what you got going on, and thank you, Brian. I just saw the post in there, so that's there for everybody.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? Basically, they just needed someone handsome in the series, so that's why they just hit me up. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what else I'm doing there. I mean, you know, aside from a pretty face.
You look pretty.
Yeah, you know, basically.
And this is one of the reasons I love Max, everybody, because And that was it. That's it from Max Jan.
Jan is working on his, his skills on the computer, so he can actually digitally put in some muscles for me. I'm going to be even more handsome in the future. You guys will see. It's going to be great.
If anyone that missed his training, he did a JFH training on Tuesday, hero training, which was spectacular on Muay Thai, Sancho, and Sanda fighting. So that'll be online.
Everyone here missed it.
All of you missed that. So we'll put it. That'll be online for next week. You guys can watch that. And all this stuff will live on the app too when we finally go live. But thank you, Max, for being here. And I want to segue over to Angel Spit and also Sage Michael, aka S.Michael00. So both of them on the Sonic landscape. Sage has done two of the main JFH theme songs, and of course Angel Spit is very much leading the sound of JFH, the texture of the score, essentially bringing the emotion out of the characters. So Angel Spit, Zoo, can we please you just kind of get your thoughts, your perspective, and just kind of some of your approach to the sonic landscape of JFH.
Hi. Well, thanks, Jen. The first thing is that what's fascinating, so Angel Spit's all about cyberpunk, and JFH is very, very, very cyberpunk. The idea behind it, the way it's being done, is about subverting technology and putting it in the hands of people to bring some form of change. So the background of the music is electro-industrial. It's very rough. It's very abrasive. But I also have a lot of roots in hip-hop. And so marrying these two ideas is something that's really fun to create this this depth that is going on in a lot of characters, and that's something that I'm really enjoying here, is trying to figure out what's going on behind the character and to use that in a musical sense. And it's really great. Like, I'm looking around here, it's like, hey, I don't know you guys, but I know half of your themes. So yeah, that's what's really fun, is that this is about marrying two worlds. And I'm loving this. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Sue. Most everyone has not actually heard all of the episodes yet. We've been really packaging them before putting them out, but we are going to be shifting that in the coming weeks and actually starting to put episodes out. So everyone's going to see why we won Best Web Series finally. And Sage, Sage Michael's on here as well, and I'd love to get some. The fact that we have Sage and Angel Spit on at the same time is actually I gotta get on speaker view for this. It's huge. It's a huge thing. It's crazy. So to have Sage and Angel Spit on here is huge. And Sage, Michael, can you talk a little bit about? And I just want to give him a little introduction too. I gave one to Angel Spit. So Sage has been a part of JFH for as long as I can remember. For when we were in the comic book stages and the early short film stages, he was producing music for it. Pretty much all of our music was Sage Michael music. And again, his producer name now is S.Michael00. Working with Mano, working with a bunch of amazing artists from Ludacris, Mary J. Blige, a whole bunch. He's worked with everybody, T-Pain. So to have him here and to have him and Angel Spit on at the same time, to me is I personally am geeking out, and I also love them both so much, and so it's amazing. So Sage, can you talk a little bit about what went into producing the JFH theme songs, because we have two of them. We have the JFH theme song that pretty much everyone's heard. Then we also have the one that's a little faster. But just your thoughts on what you brought into JFH this time around, with the whole concept being rebooted from the ground up.
First and foremost, I appreciate the warm introduction, brother, and salute Angel Spit. Man, I've been hearing about you, been listening to your music for years, since Jan first told me about you, as well as everybody else. Hello, everybody, castmates and everybody.
What's up, Sage?
What's up, Max?
Long time.
I'm chilling, bro. So I
gotta give props to that beautiful beard, man.
Hey. Salute. I'll be there one day. I'll be there soon. But first and foremost, salute, brother. First and foremost, JFH, like as Jan previously stated, I've literally been there from the beginning, and I've been able to grow, and I've seen the tremendous growth of JFH from the comic series, from the short film, and literally our whole approach, because we actually approached it as a team initially, and even till this day. My whole approach of JFH musically, and from what I've done, is to approach it from the culture that we've actually grown up in, which is a hip hop culture. So whether you have, the merger of the tech industry, the merger of martial arts, it's all deep rooted in hip hop. End of the day, we all come from New York, and that gritty New York feel is what I wanted to capture musically every single time. So as we grow, individually all the time, the music as well grows, and that's basically been has been my whole approach with everything. I love all the, not films, but episodes. Everything that I've seen has been awesome, even the comics. So it was really a no-brainer to really just take all of those raw emotions that we all have had and have grown to literally become into the music. It's a very real thing. It's nothing that's forced or even made up, so that's really my whole approach to it. And I'm just grateful to, still be a part of such a great family, man. Everybody rocks on here, man, for real.
Sage, thank you so much for those words. And like I said, it's just so special to have everybody here. And before we close out the panel, we have someone who just joined, and this is Neeks, and this is you haven't seen Neeks on JFH yet, because we're just about to essentially announce his character publicly. But if you are on TikTok, if you've Neeks has his music has been blowing up on TikTok. Neeks and I have been known each other for a very long time. He's an amazing friend and collaborator, and he's been pushing the million plus numbers on TikTok as of recently. So congratulations to him. But he's bringing his character, his narrative into the JFH universe, and Neeks is here to kind of talk about that for a moment. And look, we just got. I'm about to pin his video. Oh my God, look at him! He's got the light going on, and so this is the official announcement essentially. That Neeks is coming into JFH, and Neeks, if you could say hi to people and talk a little bit about your character and what you're bringing into the story.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing this afternoon? Right, it's afternoon now. First of all, set it straight. It's Triller, not TikTok.
Oh, I apologize.
No.
It's better that way.
I don't want everybody to go on TikTok and be like, where the fuck is Neeks? No.
Well, I mean, no one needs to be on TikTok anyway.
Yeah, right. TikTok it doesn't give back to the artists. So Triller is a platform where, and not to like do a commercial on Triller, but Triller actually allows you to still count your streams. So if you're streaming music,
Probably doesn't spy on you as bad.
yeah, you could still get paid. So if someone streams your Spotify through Triller, it still counts as your streams.
Actually, Neeks, I just want to pause you for 1 second because I want to frame this even more JFH centric, because Neeks is also a martial artist. He's not just a musical artist. He's a martial artist. He's a filmmaker. He is just an incredible dancer, and he's got an amazing story, personal story, and the fact that his story can, again, this whole idea of us building a cinematic universe together. The whole idea of us intertwining our stories and having them support each other, to me, is so important. And with Neeks coming into the universe, I would love for you to just kind of speak from that perspective of, hey, this is you're here with all of your powers. And what is tell us a bit about what those are from your perspective.
Well, I guess you kind of gave me a great introduction. I don't know if I deserve that, but I guess I've been doing martial arts for about 7 or 8 years. My dad was a second-degree black belt and also a breakdancer and DJ in the 80s. So I kind of inherited some of that. Joined my first dance crew when I was 14. Opened up for LMFAO, Swayze, Tyga, all these funny cats, and then ended up being an artist myself, going into hip-hop. And I think a lot of what I represent, why I think Jen and I connected so many years ago, was because I align with helping people and helping the world. I have a minor in biology. I come from a scientist family. A lot of us, I think in this circle especially, are here to be some sort of aid to the world. Just a little short story. I was walking the other day, maybe a couple days ago, in Hollywood, and it's freezing out here right now, like at night. During the day it's not bad at all, but at night it's starting to get cold, and I just noticed how many homeless people are out here just kind of suffering, and how many people just walk right past them and neglect that. So I think part of what I do in music is bring awareness to things that I think people overlook every day. And JFH is I think it's a spot where all of us can come together and, be the heroes that we already are in our everyday. But I think, as the Avengers movies go, it's very difficult to be a hero on your own. It's much more powerful as we unite, So I really appreciate Jen for putting this together. But yeah, so that's my mission. I try to speak peace and prosperity through music, or coming out of tough times. And yeah, that's me. I don't know if there was something I missed, Jen.
Not at all, man. Like, thank you so much, Neeks, for being on here and bringing your character in. Thank you, everybody, the entire JFH Cinematic Universe, every cast member on here. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Carl, the Zoo, Angel Spitz, Sage Michael. This is so special. What we're doing is the future, and we're figuring out how that future is actually going to work together. So. Just expect a lot more from us on the JFH side in terms of bringing us together more consistently on a regular basis, whether that's to train or just to talk the way Tomahawk was saying, that to have a regular discourse for ideas, etc. And we love you guys, and for me personally, I have to say this, that this is so hard, and the fact that people have when I've been down, have messaged me just out of the blue, because that's what needed to happen, something that I needed to hear. And you guys, even 2 days ago, we were going through some challenges on getting stuff out for you guys, and you guys messaging and saying this stuff, saying how much this means to you, is just so powerful. It is so motivational. And I am just personally so grateful for each and every one of you, for all the talent and energy that you put forth and share, because it exponentially increases. When you transfer it, it exponentially increases. The ripple effects energize all of us. So thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Thank you, each and every one of you, for taking time to do this. And I thought we were going to be behind schedule, but we're actually completely on schedule to close the panel out. So thank you all so much. And everybody on here that showed up today is actually, we have a whole bunch of prizes from Warner Media that they sent us. So, just DM on Justice for Hire with your address, and I'm just going to send you stuff. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here, and I'm just going to physically send it. But thank you guys, and I love you. I love you guys. Is there anything else anyone else wanted to share before we head on out? Press the stop on this record.
I just want to say what an honor it is to be with such a wonderful group and making something so special. So thank you so much, Jan, for giving us all the ability to be a part of this, making this happen. Everyone.
Beautifully
especially Jan.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. So is it justiceforhire.com? Is that where I send the...
It sure is. Well, I mean, you can right now. I mean, go to justiceforhire.com, get on the newsletter. But you can always email us from there. But we're super active on Instagram, so just follow us on Instagram and DM, and we'll get either myself, Vintage, or Autumn. We'll get back to you. But it's always one of the three of us. It's often me. Sending off the martial arts stuff. I'm like, oh, look at this jump kick. Look, everybody. So that's me. But yeah, please, reach out, join the cast, tell your friends what we're doing, and let's keep on building together, guys. So thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend. Love you.
You as well.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Peace, brother.
Thank you. Sage and Neeks and Angel Spit, please get together and make music. All three of you.
Definitely.
Oh.
Now.
Yeah. You do that for a while, huh, Sage?
Yo.
I was saying, I think Jan's been meaning for us to do this for a while. So let's do it.
Facts, bro. For real. Let's go right now. Hey.
Hurry. Oh, you got EQ.
I'm set up and ready to go right now. So
hey, let's get it.
We want to do this. It's so hot.
Awesome.
JFH Cypher that's about to happen. Oh, I know I know Vale is changing the hero name. It's Code Gray. So we're changing the hero names, and we're jumping on the Cypher. Vintage is super ready to Cypher. Look at him.
You got a microphone and everything.
Vintage raps, man. He raps like seriously. Like we shot a video. We got to put that out still.
Been freestyling a lot too. So I'm down to join y'all in y'all ciphers whenever y'all have them. If y'all have them on Zoom or something.
Cool, bro. Cool.
That's super dope.
Well, Vintage and Neeks, you guys live near each other, so you guys could walk and cipher in the park.
Oh, for real?
I'm on a Zoom group, the stoa.ca. We have rap non-battles where instead of tearing each other down, we praise each other, ask philosophical questions.
100%.
Oh, I love it.
I sent the link. It's the stoa.ca, and it's Tyson Wagner, Tyson Flows.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm literally open the window right now because that is
Yeah, we have it like every Sunday.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's lit.
Thank you. Nice. Yeah, I'm 100% on I don't do any battles where we tear each other down. Like that makes no sense. So I don't walk into my creative space and be like ridiculed. Why would I do that?
Roast Jan.
Oh, man.
I do have something I'd like to ask, if that's all good.
Yeah.
Yes. So to our three big musicians in the chat, I'm asking this for myself and for all the other musicians who are smaller and who are just kind of starting out in terms of getting our music out there. Will you all be hosting any seminars of any kind through JFH of just general music tips, things like that?
Man, I mean, that's an excellent idea. That's a real excellent idea.
And now we're writing that note down.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, let's really make that happen.
I'm definitely open to that. I just started managing my first artist, so I've been in the marketing space for about 6-7 years. So transferring over to music has kind of been my dream as far as marketing. So I'd love to, share whatever knowledge.
It was kind of my question was kind of directed at Angel Spit because cyberpunk music has been something that I've been interested in for a long time, and I write lo-fi personally, but yeah, I've been trying to create a hybrid of the two for a while.
Excellent. I would love to do a Zoom or a cast on using a modular synthesizer. I actually, if anybody else is interested, I do a weekly meetup, a Zoom, that's actually going to be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. LA time. Forgive me, I have a really awful stutter. It's we just get together as artists and we talk about really exciting things like creative block and writer's block. And hey, I hate every single thing I write. I hate my face. I hate my voice. I think I'm a talentless loser. And it's really good and it's really humble. And we come to help each other. And this is why I'm with JFH. I hate Jan. I don't want to see you, Jen. I hate you.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Even call me Jan for a second.
Because, it's a similar family. So, I'll just, if you want, I will put this link here. And here I am. And now I want to finish this endless crap that I talk like a man. That tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. LA time, you're welcome to jump on. And it's not just musicians, it's writers, it's fashion designers, it's everything. And, there's maybe about this many people, and we talk about the creative process. Step one, get yourself software, learn how to use the software, learning to make music. And it's like a language because you are communicating an emotional response to somebody else, and you have to learn that language and you have to persist. The first 10 or 30 songs you write will suck, and that's okay. Although someone somewhere is going to think it's the best thing ever, you're going to hate your voice no matter what. Every single person hates their voice, and if they say they don't, they are a liar. Somebody else somewhere is going to love your voice. And above all else, you have to be true to yourself. Because there's a marketing reason behind that. And that is that your taste, your representation, the thing that you like, there are a group of people who are going to like that thing too. They have your taste in common. So if you are true to yourself, you're true to what they like. And then you will start building your audience. And if I can just take a second to as far as COVID and how we are working now, because I also work with LA Opera and some other places, and we are looking at how to get our content to the people in a safe way. And what's happening right now is that the rules are being rewritten, and it's us who are rewriting the rules, not some big corporation. It's kids with phones. We are writing the rules, and that's cyberpunk. So we are now in the wild west of media. So anything we do is the right thing. Any step we take is in the right direction. And now we are all on the same playing field. It doesn't matter if we're known or we're unknown, or our Spotify has a zillion likes or 3 likes. It doesn't matter, because we are the team. And what, KO is good for martial arts and sleeping. That's right. Just because I've been doing your music and I love your face. And it's a real pity that the guy who was the evil guy and the one that we're doing now, Misery,
Dread.
He was on before, right? Was he on before?
Yes, he left early.
I wanted to talk to him because his performance scared me. Like, I was watching it going, okay, is he acting or is he really evil, and he was sitting there being in the best guy taking it away. Anyway, my point is that all of us together, we are creating something new. And this is why, you know, all props to you, Jan, and the crew. This is an exciting time. And, you know, sometimes with any creative endeavor, you go through a period where it's like, why the hell am I doing this? But you've got to forge ahead, because every single step we take is a step in the right direction. So that's all I got to say. And I didn't answer your question at all, Mask Behind the Man. But I never answer people's questions. I'm sorry. So if you've got writer's block or you want to delve into making music more, jump on my Patreon thing tomorrow morning. It's on my Patreon, but it's free. And a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now is also free because we're in a bit of an economic crisis right now. So it's the strength, the smarts, and the generosity of the American people that once again will get us through this. So, and yeah, I'm an immigrant, by the way, so I can say that. So yeah, just, yeah, all right, yes. 2 immigrants, 3 immigrants, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, don't worry, guys, we'll get you through this. So yeah, that's all I got to say. I'm going to shut the hell up now, give it back to Jan, and just, guys, keep marching ahead. And I'm muted.
Stop muting yourself. Stop muting yourself, Nelson Muntz.
Everybody, thank you guys so much. I love you guys again. And then look at that cat. I got to pin this cat. We're gonna end with the cat pinning the video. And we did not get Dredd to talk a bit. I feel bad now, but we love him. He's in Rami Wells. And he's a huge part of how we're doing all of this, actually, a major component of both JFH and the real world company that is building the technology. So we love you guys. Thank you, everybody. JusticeForHire.com, at JusticeForHire on Instagram. And we're going to do this we're going to be doing regular stuff starting next week. And we're going to let you know on the cast chat what that is. And we're going to have the ideas, we're going to have the training, and the new era. So thank you guys for being a part of it again. Love you.
Love you, brother.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later.
Rock and roll.
Bye, everybody.